These are the Excel commands to calculate standard deviation. We have this fall credit, spring credit data. Going to copy the fall credit data to an area of the screen where I don't disturb the original. And to calculate standard deviation, we have two choices. The first is the sample standard deviation, and the second is the population standard deviation. For most purposes, we will use the sample standard deviation. The population standard deviation assumes that you actually have a population rather than a sample, which in at least my experience is very rare. For this, pick a spot, type equal, and then STDEV, and we have two choices. STDEV.P is the population standard deviation. STDEV.S is the sample standard deviation. We want sample standard deviation. Double click, then block the numbers and close the parentheses. And we have the sample standard deviation to way more decimals than anyone would ever need, so we'll cut some of them off just because. The population standard deviation is calculated exactly the same way, except the command is STDEV.P. The actual difference between these two is small because in STDEV.S, the sample standard deviation, we have a divisor of n-1. For the population standard deviation, the divisor is n, so that in a larger sample size there is virtually no difference between the two. In this example, the difference will be fairly large because we have few observations. Same command with a .p, block the data, close the parentheses, and in this sample, the standard deviation difference is 5.58 versus 5.30.